Buenos dias, alumnos. Today is March 25th, 2020. It is Wednesday, and today we're going to do our third preliminary lesson. Hope you guys have been enjoying the videos so far. I really hope you guys have been able to practice at home. This is stuff that's really important to get a nice foundation for um, your vocabulary, and that way when we get to the chapters, it'll be a lot easier, okay? All right, so Monday we talked about how to greet each other in Spanish, so buenos dias. And yesterday we talked about how to say goodbye. So at the end of the video, I will say either adios or ciao, and we'll say goodbye to each other however you want. And for today, today's lesson is very short, very tiny. It's actually just talking about good manners, okay? We're gonna just go over how to say thank you, how to say please, and you're gonna be able to use that along with some of the vocabulary from the last two lessons. And as you can see, you can start to form a couple of sentences now. And hopefully, those of you that are practicing at home, or if you're trying to practice with your other friends or classmates through videos and stuff like that, that's again, I really encourage that. In fact, if you want to make a TikTok video where you speak in Spanish, it's going to help you even more. Okay. So I'm encouraging you to use Spanish as much as you can. All right. Don't just do it during the lessons and that's it. If you can try to use it in your everyday conversation, it's going to help you in the long run. So let's keep going. Okay. All right. So objectives today. Students will be able to use cordial words in Spanish and use them in conversation. Cordial words are just good manners, or like nice words. Okay, polite words. And your do now is how do you say good morning in Spanish? So go ahead. How do you say good morning in Spanish? All right. Hopefully you did that and you try to remember how to say it. If you need to look back at your vocabulary list, you can. All right. What about goodbye? How do you say goodbye in Spanish? Go. Okay. All right. So good morning, buenos dias, and goodbye. Goodbye, you could have said one of two things. If you just want to use the regular form of goodbye, you say adios. Okay, so let's practice. Adios. And then if you just want to say instead of saying goodbye, if you just want to say bye, like an informal way of saying it, just bye. That one is the one that sounds like ciao. Okay. And again, that's depending on what country you're from, it's either spelled CIAO or CHAO. Okay, but they're both said ciao. All right, directions for today. You're gonna watch this lesson, preliminary C. I do have an additional YouTube video for you to watch. It goes over a couple of the words we've learned the last couple lessons. It's a really short video, but it's good for you to hear Spanish from another voice, not just my voice. So I'm gonna try to incorporate some different videos with people who have different accents, people who come from different Spanish-speaking countries, because it's good to get a nice variety of Spanish that you're listening to. For those Spanish speakers, for those students that are Spanish speakers, I encourage you to pay attention to the accents because you're probably used to, if you speak Spanish at home, you're probably used to how your parents speak Spanish or how your grown-ups speak Spanish. So it's nice to hear a different accent because you pick up on words that, or yeah, you pick up on things that you wouldn't really notice. Um, Sometimes because of our cultures, we use a lot of slang depending on what country we're from. So it's nice to hear different cultures and different countries speak because you can really point out what it is that we use for slang, and it gives you a better overall Spanish. Okay, it's nice to learn from other cultures as well. All right, so we're gonna watch. We're gonna watch that video at the end, and let's get started. Okay. Oh, before I keep going, just so you know, this practice, LPC practice, again, these are optional. I'm not collecting them. I'm not grading them, but I encourage everybody to do them because they're not really too long right now. worksheets, and they do help in the long run. Okay, this is what today's looks like. All right, just again, it's multiple choice. Um, so you'll have it here. I'm gonna try to put the answers on Friday. I believe I do have the answers for these, so I'll give you copies of the answers on Friday so you can see how you did. Okay. Um, and then this is the video that I would like you to watch at some point. All right. Look, it's only 2 minutes, so please watch it. All right, let's get started with today's lesson. Speaking politely, preliminary C, la cortesía. In this lesson, you will learn how to request some foods and drinks in a polite way. So basically, we're going to be at a restaurant, as you can see from the picture. Um, you have this girl here. She's about to order a Coca-Cola. Now, notice how the textbook, and this is just a heads up, the textbook starts to throw a bunch of Spanish words at you that you don't know already. So far, we've covered greetings, how to say goodbye, and notice how they're already starting to put things in Spanish, and you might see some words that you don't know already. So I will go over a lot of these words because the book doesn't explain all of them. Okay, I will let you know which ones you need to worry about. Okay, but again, these are preliminary lessons. Hopefully, you guys are just watching the videos, practicing at home, and yeah, we'll take it from there. All right. So the girl says, "Una cola, por favor." Let's listen to it. Now, cola is basically it's slang for Coca-Cola. All right, you can notice that that's the second part of Coca-Cola. All right, and in Spanish, you can if you just say cola, it's almost like you're saying, "Can I get a Coke?" Okay, so una cola por favor. And the waiter comes over and he says, "Sí," it means yes, señorita. Now, pausing point. Why is he calling her señorita? Okay. If you said because she is a young woman, then you're right. Remember, señor without the ITA, that's Mr. Señora with an A at the end is Mrs. MRS, and señorita is Miss. All right, young lady. Now, she's asking for a Coca Cola. He says, "Yes, I'll get it for you, miss." And she says, "Gracias." Let's practice that one. Gracias. Gracias means thank you. Okay. And now here he's going to say something that I'm going to talk about. Okay. I am going to make some exceptions to things I want you to learn. This is one exception. You're going to listen to it. Ready? No hay de qué. Basically, he's saying you're welcome. Okay. And I'll explain a little bit more why I don't really like this one. Okay. There is another way to say you're welcome. So let's keep going. Number one, whenever you ask for something, remember to be polite and say por favor. Okay. Por favor means please. Now now you might be thinking to yourself, like, yes, obviously we're gonna be polite, right? Not going around being mean to people or just being rude. No, you always want to be polite. But here's the thing: in the Spanish culture, we always, for the most part, we like to, with the way we speak and the way we use the language, we like to sprinkle a little bit of politeness everywhere. So you might hear in regular conversation people be extremely polite. Um, the words gracias, por favor, de nada, those words are used frequently, very, very frequently, to the point where you would think people are being a little too nice. But that's just part of the culture, okay? So that's why they have a lesson on using cordial words. Because yes, it is important to learn these words, but also it's part of the culture that we use it a lot. Okay, so keep that in mind as we go on. All right. So whenever someone gives you something or does something for you, you say gracias. Okay, listen to the way they say gracias. And gracias is you're welcome. In fact, I would have used gracias right here instead of no hay de qué, because no hay de qué means something else. All right, I'll explain it in a minute. So, there are several ways to express "you're welcome" in Spanish. De nada, okay? Por nada, and no hay de qué. Now, Here's my thing. De nada means you're welcome. Okay? That one, this first one, means you're welcome. Por nada, it really means for nothing. Almost like if somebody came over, you asked them to do you favor, or you did a favor for them. They said thank you, and you're like, oh, that was for nothing. Don't worry about it. That's really what por nada means. Okay. So the one that I would like you to practice the most is this one right here. De nada. Okay. You're welcome. Por nada, it was for nothing. All right. Now it sounds a little harsher than it really is, but you can, that one's okay to use sometimes. Now this one I'm not a huge fan of. No hay de qué. Okay? No hay de qué. If you translate it literally, it means there is no reason why. Okay? So if somebody comes over, you do a favor for them, they say thank you, they say gracias, and then you're like, no hay de qué. Oh, there's no really reason why. So that one can come off as this one can come off as rude sometimes, depending on who you are and where you're from. So I want you to avoid using this one, okay? If you're gonna learn one of these three, I want you to learn de nada. And if you want to use por nada, go ahead and use it, but this is the one that you want to stick to the most. All right. Now let's practice. Ready? La cortesía. It says complete the following conversation. So what I would like you to do is for numbers 1, 2, and 3, I want you to take out a piece of paper or just open up a tab somewhere and then just try to complete this, and I'm going to give you the answers, okay? So this is another pausing point. Go ahead and complete this little part right here. I'm going to leave it like this, okay? Okay. Now, hopefully, something that you could have done is in the video, you could have pressed pause because I did leave it specifically like this for you to see it. All right. Let's go through the conversation. What do you think this word means? Take a look at the word. Limonada. Kind of looks like lemon, right? Lemonade. It's actually lemonade. All right. A lemonade, please. How do you say please in Spanish? Por favor. Una limonada, por favor. And you can try and repeat after me, okay? Una limonada, por favor. Sí, señora. Server brings the lemonade. Gracias, señor. All right, thank you. Gracias, señor. What do you think goes here? Go ahead and use one of these three. I'm going to go ahead and use de nada, okay? De nada, señora. All right, very good. Let's keep going. So, number 2. It says you are at a cafe in La Palma, Canary Islands. Order the following things in a polite way. A classmate will be the server. So here, what I would like you to do is number 2. I'm going to skip for now. I'm going to ask that you do number 2 in your house or at some point today. And I want you to find a partner. Either find a classmate on Google Meets, or I want you to practice with somebody at home, okay? With brother, sister, it doesn't matter. Practice with somebody, okay? What you need to do is you need to order the following things in a polite way, and a classmate will be the server. So you can use the conversation that you saw over here, okay? You can pause the video, like you can open up the video, pause it at this point right here, so you can see the conversation, okay? And then try to do these right here, all right? I want you to do one for each of these, and I'll give you an example in a minute. Ready? Go. All right. I'm going to give you an example of what this should look like. All right. Person number 1 would say, un sándwich, por favor. Okay. Can I have a sandwich, please? Then the second person would say, sí. Server brings the sandwich over. All right. Gives it to the person and says, mira, or look. Then you would say, gracias. Okay. And the person that brought over the sandwich would say, de nada. Okay. You can do that for all of these if you want to do it. All right. The important words are por favor, please. Gracias, thank you, and de nada, you're welcome. All right. Now let's look at number 3. Order the following foods at a Mexican restaurant. Do you recognize them all? Be polite when you order. I want you to, before you do this one, I want you to do the same thing as number 2. You can you can pause the video so you can go back between this and the conversation. All right, you're supposed to be ordering the following foods. But as far as the video goes, I want you to look at these 4 words. Number 1, 2, 3, and 4. See if you can say these words. They're all Mexican foods. Okay, this is a taco. You guys all know that. Enchilada. All right, that's how you say it in Spanish. Enchilada. Okay. Number 3, tostada. And number 4, I know you're gonna say burrito. Ready? Let's say it in Spanish. Burrito. Burrito. For some of you who can't roll your R's, this one's gonna be a little tricky, but that's okay. Try it. Ready? Burrito. Okay. And as you can see, let's look at some of the pictures that they show us. So here's a restaurant in La Placeta en La Palma, Islas Canarias. So there are these islands called the Canary Islands in Spain. I've heard they're really pretty. I've never been. I've been to Spain, but never there. It looks really nice though. One thing we're going to talk about when we get to chapter 2 is the open concept. A lot of buildings in Latin America and in Europe are open concept because of the weather. And we'll talk about that in chapter 2. And then I want you to notice this restaurant. Okay. This is a restaurant in Ecuador. Okay. I have a friend who actually went to this place, Baños, in Ecuador. And I just want you to take a look at it. All right. Does it look like a restaurant here in the United States? Does it look different? Okay. Imagine yourself in this restaurant ordering food. Hola, señor. Una limonada, por favor. Gracias. De nada. All right. That was the end of, or that is the end of the lesson. Okay. So again, I suggest that you guys use those pausing points so you can practice. All right. You should be practicing. If you're not practicing, when we get to the chapters, it's gonna get tricky. All right. Take a look at use your vocabulary list that I gave you yesterday, so you can do the other. So you can do it. You can practice your words. Okay. All right. Don't forget to watch the video. It's only 2 minutes. Okay. And if you want to work on this worksheet, I suggest you do. Go for it, okay? Please practice your words at home, and you should be all set for today. All right. If you have any other questions, please send me an email, and I'll be in my office hours, okay? I hope you guys have a great day, okay? Hasta luego. Ciao.